Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Dear Radio. It's your boy, Dear LeBrankston. I'm joined by my co-host, Dear Michael. Dear Siege and Dear TKD are not here at the moment, but like I always say, show must go on. Am I right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Gotta get to it. You know the vibes.
But other than that, you doing good, bro? Having a good week?
Doing well, man. I'm in the transition period right now, trying to get everything situated so I can get back to Kentucky, get everything right to be with y'all, and get this show pretty much off the ground. So I think we've been doing pretty good. My week been pretty well, man. Just packing, get things together. So this weekend I'll make the move.
Heck yeah, I'm glad to have you back up here. It'll be good to start kind of building more of a foundation that we've already put on to this project and just kind of work our way from the grounds up, like you said.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, I want to thank you all for joining us for another Storytime segment from Dear Radio. Storytime segment is where we bring on special guests to come out on the show, give us a little bit. Wow, I cannot speak. Give us a little bit about their life, their story, and their journey and where they are today. Today we have another special guest with us. He is originally from Jamaica, works alongside his brother in the construction business that his brother created, and he is currently on the path of carving his own brand as a fitness influencer. Please join me in welcoming our guest today, Brandon Wilson. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you?
Man, we're doing great. It was good to get you on here. We kind of briefly talked before we started the podcast, so I got to know a little bit more about you than just what you filled out in your information panel. So I'm very excited for today's podcast. I know Mike is too. But like I said, we're glad to have you on here, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, man. I'm happy to get to talk with y'all, people that are, like-minded and, just want to create a great future for themselves. So definitely glad to be here.
Yeah. No, we love to hear that, man. Before we go any further, like always, Storytime segment is based on a word of the week. This word of the week is meticulous. So throughout this whole interview, you guys just think of the word meticulous in the back of your mind, or if you just want to think about it during the whole podcast, it's pretty much up to you all. But at the end of the podcast and the Storytime segment, we'll wrap it all up with the word of the week, which is meticulous. But like I always say, I speak too much during these intros. Brandon, go ahead and take us away. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, a little bit about yourself, and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Brandon Wilson. I'm originally from Jamaica. I lived there for 10 years, and then I moved to come live with my mom, which she's in the United States, and she lived in Georgia, so I came to live with her at 10 years old. I've been here ever since, and ever since I've just been, trying to be a better person, trying to create something for myself, because like I said, she left the country to came to another country with better opportunities and everything like that. So I just don't want to let that go to waste.
Oh man, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Obviously, you're charging the path to continue doing what's best for you and the family. But man, I mean, being from Jamaica, like that's super cool. I know one other person that's from Jamaica, but I haven't got to like really share like stories of what his upbringing and how it was for him coming up. So I mean, it's just pretty cool to have somebody that's from. I mean, theoretically, I guess we're all from different places, but just having an opportunity just to be able to share what that's like for you and to come over here and seeing what difference it is. Like since since you grew up there and took 10, like do you correlate like core things that you I guess brought up from Jamaica that translated over here in America, or like how different is the settings? Obviously, it's a cultural difference, but is there anything like you was brought up on over there that you still use today in America? That makes sense.
So I would say just more so like the root of just who I am and personally just like work ethic and just being able to get things done with like obviously it's a country that doesn't have as much things. So you learn to work with what you got. So I'll say that's probably one of the best thing that I still carry myself with is just learning or just being able to get things done with what I have. And I'm not sure if y'all have ever been.
I've been
Yeah.
to Jamaica like maybe once or twice, but not really. I wouldn't say necessarily to Jamaica, but mostly like on like a cruise ship and getting off the dock, visiting probably the outskirts of wherever I'm at, and then probably getting right back on the boat. But I love to go back.
Got you, got you. Yeah, I personally, of course, I'm biased, but yeah, I think it's a beautiful place. And uh, but yeah, it's just growing up there, not having as much, so you just learn to do with what you can. Even though now a lot of my friends like to say I'm Americanized, which I kind of agree with them because after being here for 14 years, it's now I've been American longer than I have in Jamaica. So it's cool to kind of have both cultures like in me. So I get to like just answering your question, I get to see the difference. I get to have like that Jamaican side and then that American side. So I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, that's super fascinating. You say you got a really extensive like work ethic and drive. Okay, kind of touch on that. Like, what aspect of that you seen your brother like work and choose his career path? What a part of that lifestyle choices that he chose, that kind of motivates you on on your perspective of like what you want to do and what made you want to take the step to be in plumbing and electrical and construction with your brother.
So our dad was a plumber, so he taught my brother everything he knew. Both of us
Mm.
used to go to work with him. He's older than me, so he went with him a lot more, but I also went but not as much as him. So he learned a whole lot from him, and then he started his plumbing business, and he went off into construction as well, and then he realized like the demand was getting a little bit more for him, so he was like, hey, why don't you come over here and join me, and we could try this thing. And I was like, why not? Because at that time I was still, and I still am, searching for myself, trying to figure out
Mhm.
who I am and what I want to get done. So I seen that opportunity to help my brother and make something not just for myself but for the family and everything. So I was like, why not? And ever since I've been doing it, like it's been great. He definitely opened my eyes up to, I would say the number one thing is just being detailed and just understanding like that is even more important than just like even the big picture sometimes. Like um you're doing something for a customer and you'll get like everything done, but they're gonna focus on that one small thing that might not have been done properly, or things of that nature. So I'll say that's what I've picked up from him the most, is just making sure you're very detailed about everything, because at the end of the day, that's what they're gonna put the attention on. So I'll say that's the biggest thing.
No, it's super fascinating. It's crazy that you answered that because that was really my my second question. Just being able to speak on like what qualities and habits that you think you kind of got from your brother most, but like you say, you detail oriented and be able to just do the job that's your ability, right? And I think obviously it's a really minute and tedious career path, but like you do it well. Like obviously, there's a lot of uh, jobs and demand for it, as you said. So it's always super important that you're able to have that connection with what you're doing and then seeing the experience of just the evolution of what you're doing in that industry. And I think it's pretty cool. Because obviously there's a lot of people that do it, but like it's not like a glamorized career path like a entertainment, right? So like obviously plumbing is electrical, construction is important, but the fact that you're able to do it at a high level and obviously with a family member, I think that toots its own horn. So that's super exciting to be able to do that and be able to go through that journey up and down, just to be able to stay like up and flow with what you're doing. I think it's super important. But yeah, I'm super excited to be able to learn more about, I guess, the career path on that and seeing what it is. So Lane, you can go ahead and ask the second question after that because you pretty much answered mine.
Yeah. Um. So you talk a little bit about your brother basically hanging out with your dad, almost like learning the business. Uh, Talk about yourself. Like, did you have any prior knowledge to it before getting in, or was it just like, hey, I'm throwing myself in the fire, I'll figure it out eventually? Describe that process.
I definitely more on the second part. Yeah, I just kind of threw myself in. I didn't really know much when I was young. When I did go with my dad, I was really young. I can't even remember the age. I just know, I was a kid, and your dad said, "Come on, let's go." You go. So now when he asked me, he knew that it was gonna be a training phase and a teaching phase, and he knew that I wasn't gonna know a lot of stuff. So uh, big props to him because he had to be really patient with me, just taught me everything and how the business works, and just things of that. So it was definitely not a super smooth transition for the beginning, because you go in there with no knowledge, you don't know what you're doing. So you just gotta, you know, build confidence, go in and just get it done.
For sure. No, I think, I mean, I'm the same way. I have no idea what to do when it comes to activities like that. Like I wish I did. Like I feel like that's a super important thing that my dad tried to teach me, but my dad's more of a not in a negative way. He's more of a yeller than actually like using his words to describe the process, which is fine. That's how he is. But for me, I'm like, Dad, like, how do I fix my sink? How do I do this? And he's like, oh, that's easy. I'm like, well, I wish I had that kind of those skills. So maybe one day I'll work on it. But uh, when I was younger, like I helped my neighbor build a pool, and it's one of the craziest projects that I ever had to do growing up. So for you coming into the business, like not really know much, and then slowly advancing into that skill category, what would you say is your most like the toughest project you ever had to work on?
Um, I would say definitely the first bathroom we did, because obviously that's not only he had barely kind of like really got into it himself, so he knew the basics. And you know, we go into it, we talk to each other, we think we're good, we think we got it, and you go in, and then it's just so much stuff hit you that you're not expecting because you know we've never done it before. So I would say definitely our first bathroom we went in, and that's also what also got me paying a lot more attention to detail because when I first go in, it's a lot of things simply because you don't have the knowledge, you don't your eyes just don't see it, you know. So when I go in, it's a lot of small things I wasn't paying attention to, and things like that will can hurt the business or just hurt things because even though it is a part of the learning process, it is still hurting because you're wasting time and you're not realizing like things have to get done in a certain time. So that's definitely one of the toughest part because it's the learning phase. So I'll say that's like the toughest part. Or just anything, even with the podcast or you know anything when you first start, the hardest part is just getting up and starting it.
Yeah, yeah, for
You know,
sure. Yeah, do you feel like now, like for example, like a bathroom, for example, when you walk into the bathroom, do you feel like your vision for like errors or issues like has increased so much from the beginning? Like if you walk in, you're like, oh man, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, we should probably fix that. Is that something that, like you think of every time you walk into like a house or something?
definitely. It's everywhere I go now. It's crazy. It's like
Yeah,
you can't get it out of your head. It doesn't matter what it is. You go. I could just be at a gas station and I see it. I'm like, man. But it's you know it's like I appreciate it though because it's like my whole perspective on life changed. So you know I definitely appreciate it.
yeah, for sure. We kind of spoke briefly a little bit before we started the show. We talked about how you started up streaming on Kick. I know in your info panel you started talking about how you wanted to be a fitness influencer. Is construction is that a career path you want to kind of do long term, or do you want to kind of lean more towards the fitness path? What are your plans on the next step of life?
So for me, my passion is definitely fitness and gaming. So I've always been my plan was to stick with the fitness, grow my following on there, and then when I'm not doing fitness, I'll be streaming. But I also realize that construction pays the bill. And it's also a great business, and I'm helping my brother doing it. So it's definitely something that I think I'm gonna keep doing as long as it's needed to be done. As long as we're still running the business, I'll keep doing it. But I'll say my passion is fitness, which is what I'll do on the weekends or after work. You just catch me in the gym. I'll be recording videos, you know, doing all that kind of stuff.
For sure. And I feel like that kind of really blew up during COVID, and even now I feel like a lot of people are just posting random gym TikToks, Instagram Reels, YouTube videos, like whatever it is. So I definitely hope to see more of that from you. But I don't want to cut you off, Mike, but I'm just gonna flow right into it. What got you started into fitness and that journey? For me, like I was kind of the same way growing up. Like I love doing physical activity. I love lifting weights, and for the longest time, I wanted to do a like a fitness YouTube, just because I watched a lot of fitness YouTubers, and that was something I was very passionate about because it's just like, oh, you work out, you make videos, cool. Most of the time, you kind of talk to people, see what they're doing, but eventually, I just never got there. I went the gaming route instead. So, talk to us a little bit about what got you into fitness. Is it something that you've always been into?
So fitness I've definitely always been into ever since I was a kid. I used to run track. played soccer, all that stuff growing up in Jamaica. So, it's a pretty active lifestyle. So growing up, and then I was also on the smaller side too. I was just more of like a runner, you would say. So I was always smaller. But then as I got older, started seeing other guys working out and they're putting on muscle, and then it just kind of inspired me. I'm like, okay, I could do that. I could, build my physique like that. So I was like, why not? So then um started hitting the gym. I fell in love with it, and then actually I don't think I told you guys this, but I worked at Two Man in the Truck before my brother. So that was a moving company, and right
Mhm.
there, I was able to put on a lot of muscle.
Yeah, I bet
Just
you got jacked.
exactly, just lifting a lot of heavy stuff. And also met this guy that he works out every day. So this he also, and I don't think I told him, but he doesn't even know how much he inspired me because he worked out. This is the beginning of my fitness journey. I would work out, and then in my head I'm like, okay, if I go to work and I'm lifting all this heavy stuff, if I get off after 5, that's it. I'm not even gonna go to the gym. I've already had my workout. But he was like, nah, I'm in the gym every single day. And I was looking at it, I'm like, what? How? And he was just like, man, I'm in it every day. And it was just living proof in my eyes. Like it didn't matter what time it is. He got off and he's there. And
Yep.
he took me to the gym first time to a bigger gym, which is Crunch. Because I used to work out at a gym in the apartment complex, which is way smaller, doesn't have all the equipment. He took me to the gym. I seen all these equipment I didn't know about. I seen there's a lot of people in there. The vibe is just good. The energy, is uplifting. So I went in there and I started working out, and he showed me a lot of stuff. And then since that day, I just took off. I've just been in there, you know, just like him. Whenever I'm not gonna say every day, but every time I get the chance and my body is feeling like I can, I'm in there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful addiction.
So,
Yes, yes, sir, exactly.
the real question though, like, are you more of a evening gym junkie or a real early morning gym junkie?
Nah, I
That's
can't.
a big question.
I don't do the early morning. I'm there after work. After work, I'm
Yeah.
there from about 9 to 11.
See,
Then I get off, I sleep, and then at work. That early morning, I don't know. I want to be, and I want to discipline myself, but it's really
yeah,
hard. I know it's something that can be done. I just haven't changed myself. I'm comfortable right now doing the night workouts because I like that. But I definitely know the morning workout is a good thing, and honestly, I think it'd actually be good for me as well.
Nah,
So
more fun at night.
I definitely love it a lot
I,
more for sure.
I disagree. The morning is my thing. Like 5, 6 a.m. Links know, like
Yeah.
5, 6 a.m. I can get up and do that. Like it's just you just start your day off. Like you already like think about it, you already know what you're going. You gotta deal with this customer today. You gotta deal with this client today. You gotta deal with your brother tomorrow. You gotta deal with what I'm saying. Whoever gonna call you that day. Like if you already got that boost from the gym, take that away. You sweat 5, 6 early in the morning. I mean, you go through a breeze. You feel like Superman throughout the day, right? Like I think going through it though is always tragic. But like after you done the workout, you're like, damn, I'm so glad I just did that. That's why I always feel like it's better for me to do it in the morning.
Nah, but on the
I don't
flip
know.
side, on the flip side, I feel like if like a customer pisses you off, then you have more fuel to just hit a max bench press, a max squat, whatever it is, and just get over with it in the afternoon. That's how I feel.
I get that too. Like after you're done working, because you go to work, and then for me, I like the gym so much where it's like I'm happy to go. I want to go. So it's like after you go to work and you had a lot of stress, a lot of stuff you have to deal with, you finally get to go. It's like it's like a second when the energy just hits you and you're there. So it's
I
two
guess
sides. You know,
yeah, I ain't never had that feeling of like somebody yelling at me or doing something. I'm about to hit the gym now to like leave. I never had that. So like me, if I'm hitting in the morning, somebody yelling at me, I know I'm just calm and collected. I just get it done. They're like, damn, how you do it so calm? It's like I done been through all that this morning. I ain't, what I'm saying? You can miss me all that you got going on. So we're gonna get straight to it. It's always good for me. But obviously, as long as you're in the gym, bottom line, get in the gym. As long as you're in the gym, what I'm saying? Hey, shout out He's be on that field. He be in the gym. He don't talk about it much. So we gotta get him in them weights. He probably on them weights low key. We just don't know about it. But what I'm saying?
I
Like he
do
in
be
that
on the
gym.
weights a little bit. I do be on the weights a little bit.
That's why I say he probably on the weights though. I'm saying like as long as you're in that gym, it don't matter, man. You're gonna have a better lifestyle as long as you're in that
I
gym.
ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing crazy on the weights, but you know what I'm saying. I'm getting pumped up. You know what I'm saying. Get my arms tightened up. You know that's about it. But I ain't trying to be Hulk Hogan or Goldberg or any of that. So I'm good on that side.
Hey, but touch on that a little bit, Brandon. I know obviously fitness is important. They say about 70% of the fitness journey is really eating, and then the rest of it is pretty much in the gym, just discipline yourself. So like talk about that side. Obviously, you've been in the gym, being inspired, and obviously just going through your own process and your journey. But how important is the eating process, and like what are you eating? Are you meal prepping? Or are you eating out more? Like how does that look for you on a day to day basis? Obviously, especially because you're working the way you're working. So what's that look like for those of the viewers that don't know how to balance the diet, and then if they're trying to get bigger or smaller, all that type of stuff. So like, what's that look like for you? Obviously, start with, are you trying to bulk or like decrease in size too? I think that'll help too.
Yeah, so definitely nutrition is way more important than in the gym every day, because if you're not eating right, the muscles aren't gonna grow, or you're not gonna lose the weight you're trying to lose. So I'll say my diet definitely changed 100%, because once you get in that mindset, a lot of things is gonna change for you. It's like you're gonna realize I can't do that, or else all the work I'm putting in is not gonna show. So you have to change your diet, because before, I would say my first year, it was just working out. I didn't change my diet. I was just still eating whatever I was happy eating, comfortable eating. That's what I was doing. But then the moment, I don't remember that same guy that I told you got me into the gym every day. It was actually on a lunch break. He was eating a salad, and then I don't even think I was eating anything too crazy. I was eating a pretty good meal, but he was eating a salad, and he was like, um, he said he's going to the gym, and then I was like, man, I said something like I want to be like you or something like that, right? And he was like, if you want to be like me, you gotta eat like me. And he said that, and that hit me. I don't know why, it just hit me, and I'm like, okay. So then that day, I went home and I started watching videos, and then I was watching this guy. He was just telling you about all the foods you can eat and what's building muscle and what's not building muscle. And then I realized everything that is supposed to build my muscle, I'm not eating, and then all the stuff that's like not good for you, that's what I'm eating. So then that kind of changed my perspective. After that day, I just that the rest of that week, it was nothing but greens and protein and just things like that. And then like 2 3 months later, I noticed crazy change, and I'm like, okay, there you go. And then from there, it just the diet changed. And to touch to the bulking, and to bulk, you definitely got to eat a lot more than you want to eat, because else you're not gonna grow. So you
Yeah.
definitely gotta eat. I don't agree with dirty bulking. I know some people do it, which is just eating a lot just to get the size. I personally don't like doing that. Try to eat clean, and I rather lean bulk, because I don't like the heavy feeling. So I'd rather lean bulk and make my way there than to dirty bulk, and you know it's a lot faster, but I don't prefer it that way. And to cut, personally in the mornings, my breakfast is just like an apple and an orange. And then lunch, I might eat lunch just depending how I'm feeling. And then right before the gym, I have a good meal. I get some carbs in me, because carbs is really good for the energy to get it going. And then after that, I have another meal with a lot of protein and stuff like that. But that's if you're trying to cut. You just keep the calories low, so that you can cut the weight back.
No, that's important. I appreciate you sharing
Yeah,
that. For those.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. TJ.
My fault, my fault. I had a partner in North Carolina, man. We was selling cars, and he wanted to bulk up, man. That same thing that you're saying, like you got to change your diet and all that. Like we used to go like all the time, especially during the car business. Like everybody didn't eat good in the car business. That's why everybody that did car, they always had a belly or whatnot. But you know what I'm saying. So we used to always go out and eat. Then one time he was like, man, I'm trying to bulk up. He started bringing in that chicken, rice, and some greens every
Classics.
day. Chicken, it was chicken and salmon, and none of it had seasoning on it. Y'all can't have seasoning with y'all food, bro.
Nah, I mean, you can. I think that's more of his personal, his take on it. I like seasoning on my food. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's his take. I mean, I respect it. I think it's cool, because it's like he's able to
Shit.
out the seasoning, but I like my food seasoned. So
Man, the chicken was white, dog. I'm like, bro, you ain't putting no salt, no pepper on that joint. Nothing, no. What? I'm talking about the chicken was white. I was feeling bad for him. He's like, man, I gotta eat it like this, man. They said, hey, the seasoning, they put more fat and more that sodium. I'm like, because he was like you said, he was watching those videos like you did, bro. He was watching those videos because he was trying to learn how to do it. Because he was like, man, I'm finna get pumped. Because I seen him every day watching these videos. Like, yeah, I'm looking at this dude. I bet he say you gotta eat this, that, and the third, nothing else. Lunch, dinner, breakfast. I'm like, damn, what egg white, whatever for breakfast if you want to, but all of that. I'm like, dang, bro, you gotta suffer and eat all that, bro, just so you can look a certain way. I said, man, that's crazy, bro. I said, that's crazy. I said, I understand it though, bro. It's a mindset thing. Some people like to do it for the mindset, you know what I'm saying? MVZ. So sometimes it be a mindset thing, but I just can't get behind the mindset of not seasoning your food. It gotta taste like something, dog.
I would say because of that, I'll cut back on certain things. Like I'll be more mindful of the seasoning. Like I'm not gonna overdo it, but I definitely like my season the food season. So um,
Got to.
what's that?
I said you got to. You got to season your food.
Exactly.
Got to. But I think that's also a part of like the introduction phase he was in, right? I think like once you've been doing it 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and your body's already like at a point where it's kind of like immune to whatever you're trying to change and adapt, and it's already kind of molded. You kind of got more playful nutrition you can kind of balance and stuff with because your body's already at a point where it's muscle memory. So I think it's just that first year and a half. It's when you like, man, I got to do this for a year until my body molds to that. Then I can kind of get back into whatever it is. I can kind of put my body that's still on balance of what I need to be eating. I think it's just that first iteration of it. You don't realize like when we're young, right? I know we're kind of going real crazy on the health, but I'm kind of fascinated by it. Like when you're young, you're just always doing sports. If you are an active person, and you just always running and draining all your metabolism, and you don't really know it because just what you're doing. You with your friends, or you outside, or you just doing whatever. I'm saying this is a constant, and then you get in sports, you basketball, see, we just running, running. We eat so much, and we still skinny. You don't know why is that? It's like because we sprinting for a good 3 hours every day. And it's like when you get older, you get out of high school, you get out of college, and you ain't doing that as much. You're like, oh, hold on, I'm putting on weight. So why is that? Because you ain't working out 60 minutes a day no more, right? So it's like he probably went a long way of not working out and not being physical. And now he got to readjust his whole mindset, whole diet just to get back into the process. It's for him now to feel and look the way he want to look, which is, like you say, a mindset thing, which I mean, I think gym's important. I think you know that. So if you're in the gym, your mindset just changed. Obviously, you feel better, you look better, and you just become a better person. But I think it's also the process of it. But I mean, that's just my take.
I agree with that. Just like you said, because now that I'm thinking about it, when you first dive into it, you kind of dive head first, so where you're just on the
Yeah,
straight, just clean, clean, clean. And to touch back to what you said is it's once after you've gotten past that phase of like, okay, maybe I don't need to do all that anymore, and you kind of understand your body, like you said, you get to play around and you know what is gonna do what, and you know how to eat after that.
easy. Oh man, I mean, it's super important to be able to get in that gym, just find your way in a rhythm. I mean, it's really therapy too. So being able to have that outlet is always a good thing. But moving forward into the next section, um, you gotta. We've heard you you started an online store as well. Like we want to congratulate you on that first and foremost because like that's a huge accomplishment. A lot
Thank
of
you.
people try it, a lot of people fail, majority of people fail. I'm sure you had your journey of going up and down, but obviously you're still here and you're still doing what you're doing. So, like, could you tell us about like what is it specifically you're building on your online store and what you're selling, and then like what are some key strategies and decisions that contribute to like your success for your store, and like obviously what challenges did you face along the way?
Cool, cool. So it's not. I'll just start off by saying it's not like a crazy big story. It's just still more of like a hustle I do. It's not anything I'll say I could live off of, but it definitely it generates something good to you like I'm working in construction and you're working. You get a notification on your phone. Boom, something sold. I mean, that's a good feeling right there. So I got into it from my mom. So she does furniture. So she flips furniture. So she'll find old furniture, sand it down, paint it, make it look nice, and sell it. And she do that, and she got a furniture store, a little booth inside of the store that she rents, and she sells it. And she also sells on eBay. So that's how I got into it. She would buy like lamps and just small things like that, and she would sell it. And she told me about it. She was like, "Hey, you could try, just flipping stuff on eBay." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So then I spent that. It was probably like 2-3 months, and then I was just going through it, like, what can I do? What can I say? I was doing everything. And then at the time, I didn't have much money to even do anything. So I wanted to find a way where it's a low investment and I'm still able to get it done. So what I did was I went into Marshall's, which is one of my favorite stores to go to. Marshall's,
Shout out.
Burlington, Max, all of those.
Shout out.
Uh, go to all of those. And what I did was I walked around and I looked at something they had. I know they have it. That way, I know once I take pictures of it, then I post it on eBay. That way, I don't have to buy it and hold on to it, because that's what I did at first. I would buy it and then hold on to it, and then if it doesn't sell, it's like, damn, it's just sitting there. So I would just go in there, figure out what it is they have, and they constantly have, and then go home, take pictures of it, go home, edit it, make it look nice, post it, and then once I get a sale on it, I go to the store, pick it up, and ship it off. And to touch on that, like right here, this is like the main thing I put on there. So it's like maybe 3 or 4 more back there, and I just shipped off 2 yesterday. So this white t-shirts, these they have them in stock all the time. So what I do is I go and take pictures of these, post it, and then sell it. The profit is probably like $8,
Okay.
but if ain't nobody's complaining about $8, you know what I'm saying? And I literally
Facts.
For real.
I didn't have to do anything. I just wait on somebody to hit me up, say they want to buy it, agree with the price, go pick it up and ship it off. That's all it is.
Nah, that's smart. That's smart. That's smart. That's just kind of like similar to like garage selling. That's tough that you're doing that.
Exactly. Appreciate it.
So basically, I mean, obviously not to get in your business and tell your business to the world, but basically, man, you basically already know where you want your profit to be. You just negotiating off of that.
Exactly.
Smart.
But before I would go, I started off at Goodwill because that's where my mom, she gets all her furniture. They get donated. She goes there, she gets it for cheap. She could flip it, do her thing. So I started
Oh
off.
yeah.
I would go into the Goodwill store, find like nice clothes, see if it's good. They sell them for like $2-3. I buy it for $3, go on eBay, sell it for 10, 12, So that's how I started. But then I realized I was buying a lot of clothes, they weren't selling. Then I was like, damn, what can I do? And then that's when the idea hit me. But it was actually to go to Dollar Tree because I was trying to take a cheaper route. Go to Dollar Tree, I'm like, everything is $1. So if I find it for $1, I could go flip it for 5. And I know Dollar Tree is gonna have it. So I tried it. It wasn't working as good until I went to Marshalls. I don't know how I ended up as Marshalls, but then I ended up there. I seen that they have white t-shirts all day long just sitting there. And I was like, all right, let me try this. So then I posted it, and then maybe like a week later, I got my first hit. I was like, damn. And it costed me nothing. I didn't have to buy it. I didn't have to do nothing. I just wait for somebody to buy it, and then I go pick it up, and then I ship it off. And I'm like, yeah, there we go. And then it just started, slowly. Every now and then, I'll say now I probably get like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 1 sale a week. Something like, it just depends. In the summertime, because it's white t-shirts, the sales are good. But then once it dies down, then probably like maybe 2-3 sales a month. And then, but who's complaining about money? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's tough. That's tough. No, I mean, it's just like you said, you're an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just finding those opportunities where people don't see them. People do see them. Most people don't, though, right? So you're just trying to fill the gap to where obviously people need some t-shirts, and it's great that they white. And white kind of represents what that look clean. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you already putting 2 and 2 together, whether you get 1, 2, 3, 100 sales in a week. I mean, it's just really the action behind it that kind of keeps you afloat and keeps you wanting to just learn about the craft a little more. So I mean, I think it's real bit like yeah, like she's saying, like it's like real building. I think that's really important. And also, I mean, I think it helps with your other business, like the influencer, and then obviously your construction. Like you start seeing the same type of things with profit and margin, and then obviously breaking even with what you're doing. So it's all like repetition, and I think that's really important because you can't what you're doing. You can't, they don't teach you that in school. You can't learn that in school, right? Like it's they may have it in a textbook in this specific section of the book that's not really getting talked about because the teacher ain't never really did it. So like they're not gonna highlight what it looks like and how it is and what's the up and downs, like what's the percentage on sales, seasonal, when seasons come, like obviously you're just learning that on the fly, and I think that's important because you can just teach that if you wanted to, right? I think just obviously going into it gives you a greater advantage with everything else. So kudos to that. I think that's super important as you're doing that, and obviously I would say stick with it because that building block becomes something massive in the future for you. And I think that's just having that foundation is what gonna set you apart in the future. And people don't really they tend to miss that step. So keep doing that.
Definitely. And you right about the mindset thing. It's like once you start thinking that way, you start thinking of the whole world that way. You start noticing like how the world works. You start putting two and two together. So you're like, okay, so this is how this business works and this that works. Because before you just we like as humans, you just kind of think that stuff just happens, just out of thin air, things just pop up, right? But and we
Yeah.
kind of fail to think about like, okay, there's a connection to everything. So there's a reason why this happened. So then once you open up your mind to that, you start seeing everything. Like, you just go out there, you start looking at the car, and you're like, okay, so this door needed this bolt to close properly, or it needs this lock, or you start thinking like that. You start finding the connection in everything, and then you just start living your life that way, man.
That's a fact because I had read.
Chris, you cut out.
Your mic cut out.
I had my fault. I had read something the other day. I can't remember the name of the exact product, but it was something so small, like we use it every day. I couldn't remember the name of it, but it was like he's one of the richest people in the world, this, that, and the third. And it's like one of the smallest little product. I cannot remember what it is. It'll come to me. I'll probably just blurt it out in the middle of the show before the end. But I promise you, bro, it's something so. I wish I could freaking remember. It's something so small. It's literally something so small, bro. It's like, bro, we use it every day. Something that dealerships use, everybody use, but it's something so small. I'll get back to me on that. I'll try to think of it, but when you think about it that way, though, it's like, man, you see the little things like zipper on a backpack, shoestrings, the thing that goes at the end of the shoestring, like those little things, all those little things have to be made by either a separate company or the company itself. It's either somebody's getting a profit off it or the company's getting the whole profit. Somebody making something somewhere. It's either they all making it themselves or they sourcing it out to this person to do it so they can have this little product at 56 cents on a dollar or this little product, material for the product, things of that nature. So like I always think about shit like that every time, or stuff like that all the time. Like when I go to McDonald's, I'm like, man, how they getting all these? How they know when to supply these?
Shout out.
Hey, shout out McDonald's, man. Shout out McDonald's. But how do they always know when to supply the trucks? Like who's telling them this? Like, and then who's putting the plans together for it to be automated, or if they make an account, things of that nature. Like, and then who's putting the packaging together to put the stuff in the, you know what I'm saying? I think about all that little stuff. Cause I be like, man, somebody making money out there somewhere. And then the other thing, I don't mean to keep rambling, but like the barricades you see on the highway and shit, like from construction, like the little barricades, somebody making money off that. I seen somebody's name on the back of it. So he knew people, so people knew it was here. It said Bobo's barricade or something, Bob something barricade. I said, dang, people making money off.
He wanted people to know.
Even the toilets. Even the toilets, the porta potties, bro. They be in there supplying that. Like people be bringing them in on a boatload. Like, hey, bring those.
Yeah, they got advertisements on there now.
Yeah, they be renting them. Those are rented porta potties. That's so. All the porta potties are rented, dog. Like that, like when you think about that, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
And then to come in and clean that shit, like it's so much shit that be going on. Like I be just thinking about all that shit. But yeah, like you said, bro, it's so much shit.
Way to reel it in, because I was a little nervous where you were taking this conversation at first, Siege. I was hoping you would remember it, and then somehow we ended up at McDonald's and porta potties, and I'm glad you can finish off strong.
Spectrum, bro.
Yeah,
Spectrum, bro.
yeah.
Spectrum.
That's the world, the mind of Siege right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
But no, sorry, did someone say something? All right, cool. I'll keep going. Diving into it, like we already talked about, like instruction, we talked about fitness, and we're talking about this online store that you're running. How do you manage to do all of it in a timely manner, and how do you keep it all afloat without getting super stressed out, getting overworked, overstressed, everything like that? Talk about that.
So definitely the managing part is hard. That's something I'm still working and trying to do. But the stress part, like the gym kind of handled that part, like we were talking about earlier. Once you hit the gym, like he was Michael was saying, that's like your therapy. Everything that you worry about, you stress about, just kind of goes away. And then I'll say after doing it for a certain time, you realize it's not really that hard to manage once you build that routine of like doing it and understanding when it's gonna happen, and like just things like that. So like I understand if I'm going to construction, I'm there until the job gets done. That before I started that, I used to bother me because I'm used to working a job where I work, I do my time, and then I'm out, I'm ready. But then going into that field, I'm like, I can't just water off and leave them without water. You know what I'm saying? So I get used to just making sure, hey, the job has to get done. If it doesn't get done, I'm not going home. So you kind of get used to that, and then you kind of just build your schedule around that. So there's days when I go to work and I'm done at like 2 o'clock. There's days I'm not coming home till 11. So you just never know. You get used to it, and it just is what it is.
For sure. Speaking of that, kind of take us in a typical schedule of what your day in the life looks like.
Okay, so I'll say I wake up around 7:38. I get to, depending on what we're doing, I'm at the job site by 9 o'clock, or I'm at my brother's house because that's where we do all the paperwork and everything that we need to get done. So I'm either at the job site or I'm over by there. And there we take it however long the job gets done. If I'm there when sheetrock, painting, plumbing, electrical, whatever it is, I'm there doing that. If we have like somebody subcontracted out and you're just there to make sure everything is good, and I'm running back and forth getting materials here and there, it's a lot of change. It's a lot of unexpected things, which I kind of like that about it, because then you're not bored. You're not sitting around wondering what to do. You kind of have something to do. So just doing that. And then once I'm done, typically I'm done around 7 o'clock, 6, 7. I'll say I'm pretty much wrapping up, ready to go. And then by the time I get home, I eat, shower, head to the gym. I know that's a lot of people, kind of me and my friends, we talk about, they think it's weird to shower before the gym, which I disagree. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I personally, I got to shower before I go, because I've noticed the difference. I noticed the difference working, going in, after a long day of work, and you just go straight to the gym,
You
and
smell even worse.
yeah, it doesn't work. So I shower before, go hit the gym probably around 9 o'clock. I used to do 1 hour, but since I started like making videos and everything, I realized like an hour is not that much time. So then now I'm there for like 2 hours. So 9 to 11. And then once I hit 11, come home, take another shower, and then hit the bed. Or I might watch a show or, something, edit a video, something until I fall asleep. So that's about the day in the life, to be honest.
No, I love that. That's a grind right there.
Appreciate it.
Right. That's important.
I'm interested to see y'all take on the shower and y'all's day in the life.
Nah, I'm the same way. Like if I'm, because I work a lot outdoors. Like I currently work with high school sports, like as a medical athletic trainer basically. So there's like today was freaking hot. Like it was 96, 97. I'm out there covering varsity football practice. And if I were to go to the gym this afternoon, I would have definitely went home, ate, took a shower, and then gone to the gym and then been like, wow, like that I earned it. I didn't just stand there doing nothing, sweating my butt off. I actually earned it in the gym. Now I'm gonna go home and take another shower. Because that's the most important part. Some people forget as they take that shower before and they work out. You gotta always hit the shower before you get into the bed. You can't get that bed dirty. Am I right, Siege? You know what I'm saying?
You can't get the bed dirty, but I'm different on the shower before the gym. Sometimes I catch myself slipping on showering. Sometimes when I get home, because usually as soon as I get home, I go get straight in the shower. But sometimes when I go to the gym, I like to go straight to the gym because like I don't feel like taking 2 showers because I feel like I'm just doing it all over again. You know what I'm saying? So like why am I getting clean again if I was already clean type of thing? But again, I'm not clean. I just came from the gym. But if I'm already dirty coming home, I know I'm finna get a good shower in. And sometimes after the gym, I like a good shower. I just like to be able to just sit in there for a little minute too, so get thoroughly clean. But other than that, nah, I can't do the shower for the gym.
Hey, at least you got that shower after.
Yeah, good shower after.
Yeah.
Great shower after.
But think about this. So if you go into the gym, right, after a long day, you know that you're not the only one there, right? And then you know it's a lot of, let's be honest, a lot of bad females in there. And I'm not, this is from like personal experience. Me taking a shower and me not taking a shower is way better because not only that, you go in, you smell good. I always feel good. I might put on a little cologne too. And I'm telling you, like, there you will get compliments left and right. Like,
Hold on, we going to work or what? What we doing? We going to work or which one we doing, dog?
there all the time. So,
Hey, but you got to think, he going to the photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? He a fitness influencer, so the mindset different.
Okay, so it is different. It is different. I understand that though. Now I do understand that side. Well, I understand both sides. Well, the sides you were saying too, Brandon, on the female part. I definitely understand that for sure. Well, and then two, in your line of work, you do a lot more physical labor. So obviously some people that's in the office, like me sometimes, I'm in the office, so I don't sweat as much. So I can go to the gym. I go to the gym right after work. But yeah, like you, if you do a little bit more physical labor, yeah, it's a little bit more important that you yeah. I understand that.
Nah, he got to look good and smell good for the camera. Don't forget that.
That too, but also the physical labor part. He's already ranking, so he had to wash that off.
Exactly.
Not as much ranking, but you know what I'm saying. He get, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, I understand now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're right. No, I think it's for me. I think it's the same thing. I think I used to not. I'm like, see, it's like I work from the crib now. Like I work from home, so like I ain't going nowhere. But unless I wake up in the morning, but I'm starting to do like cold showers in the morning now, which I never had done. I'm like a weekend. It's not bad at all. So, but I'm doing that, and then I'm washing my body, and I'm going straight to the gym off a different thermal shock, and then I'm hitting that. Then I hit the sauna. Then I'm getting like a warm shower. So I'm hitting like 4 different movements before I even start my real day of work. So I think I think it's definitely important to do that. Shower is important. I mean, to me, you know what? Take a step further. Like that's the best feeling in the world to me. You know what I'm saying? Being able to wash your body, man, is the best feeling in the world. Dog. Like
Facts.
you just if it's a long day, if it's a short day, if it's just 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you get, the break just to be in that shower. A lot of people ain't got water, man. So I appreciate it every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a beautiful thing
sure.
to be in and to be able to marinate on ideas or just get in and out. But I mean, being able to wash your body, man, is super important. So there's no feeling greater to me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good feelings out there, but taking the showers gonna be top notch to me. But it's important. It's important to do that for sure. But moving into that though, like I want to kind of ask, like, what do you see the future of being an influencer in the gym as well as your construction Like, how do you see those two parallels, like causing paths, or the one gonna be further along than the other, and you want to dive straight into one, or do you see those correlating where it's like obviously the fitness helps with the construction? Does that become more of that type of swing in business, or are you diving straight into the influencer if that blows up, like you want to go straight into that? Like, what do you see the future in yourself becoming more of yourself as a obviously as an influencer for yourself? What's that look like?
So like me and my brother spoke about this. Like I let him know, like doing the business is great. I love doing it, but it's not my passion. I told him about it. And he kind of had the same mindset. He's like, it's a business. I understand it's a business. It's not necessarily something he wants to do for the rest of his life as well. But he just want to
Yeah,
build something so that, you know, later on in the future, we won't have to work as hard, or if we go hard now, later on we won't have to go as because something is built. For me, it's more of like I know now my mindset. I've put the fitness influence in second, as I want to focus on the business more, so that by the time I see that it's steady and I'm have to work as hard anymore, then I'll have a lot more free time to be in the gym instead of like maybe just 2 hours in the gym or an hour. I'm able to go there whenever I want, or so that's the goal, to work hard on the business to where it could take us to a point where we don't have to work so hard and we have a lot more free
yeah,
time to do whatever we want. So then once that happens, then I'll focus a lot more on the fitness influencing. But if it does take off, let's say I post some videos and crazy stuff happen, like I told him I would
yeah,
never just be like, oh yeah, I quit, I'm done. I would never do that. I'll let him know, hey, things is happening. We have to come up with a good plan. I'm still gonna be there if you need me to. We just have to manage the time better, and that we just got to communicate and just you know let the plan work out. So I'm not ever gonna just drop anything on him and do that.
yeah. It's important. That makes sense. I mean, like you said, you really it seem like y'all got a strong bond, and obviously y'all locked in on communication and figuring out. Obviously, y'all comprehend well, so y'all know exactly what y'all trying to get to. Y'all know the goals, y'all know the pain points, y'all know exactly where y'all headed. So most people can't even be in the same room with their family. To be able to do business with your family is a whole another level. So it's kudos to y'all to be able to put that together and continue to grind and see the fruition in that. And then obviously, like you say, have a certain goal. Like, no, we're doing this. It might not be the most glamorous thing, but like we're doing this so the future of us become better. And I think that's very, very important for the foundation of what you're building. And it allows you to kind of be at ease when days go rocky. You're like, okay, it ain't good today, but we know exactly what we're getting into. We know why we're doing this and how long we want to do it. So, like you say, you keeping the foundation strong. Obviously, keeping the communication strong. So, and obviously, your success is your brother's success, and vice versa, right? So, if when that happens, not if, when that happens for you, it's just going to be another tipping scale for him as well. So he's going to be proud of you, family's going to be proud of you, and then they're going to want to see you continue to do that. So just like he grabs you and pulls you in, yeah, I'm sure there's ways that y'all can collaborate on some other things in the future. So I think that's obviously y'all plans, and continue doing that. I think y'all be really really well off. But moving into that, like you really want to be a influencer, and you really want to like take it off. Like, what is the key attributes or the messaging behind the brand of influencer? Like, why is that so important for you to become the biggest you can be in that field? Like, why is that? Like, what is that you're yearning for uh, um, to give to your audience, to give the aspiring people that look up to you, that want to be just like Brandon, like they're doing some type of job, but they really want to post the content on fitness, and they really want to eat better, but they don't have the right environment, they don't have the right resources, or they're just in their own way. Like, why is it that you're so advantageous on getting to that level, and what does that look like for you when you get there? So, like, what's that message around the brand that you really want to create?
Cause I would say because I was that kid that would sit and look at the videos myself, and before I even dive into fitness, I was definitely watching. And if I wasn't inspired by anyone to go into the gym, I probably wouldn't have made it. So
Mm.
the just watching that and seeing that they inspired me to do so. And since I got in there and I seen progress, and I'm like, okay, and I started like posting progress pictures and things like that. And I noticed a lot of people were like, congratulating me and saying, cool, bro, how'd you do it? Stuff like that. And then I started posting my videos, and then I noticed like a few people would hit me up and like would ask me questions, and just doing things, and even telling me how much like just me posting videos inspired them to start. And I'm like, okay. I started realizing like, damn, it's really it affects people. Like, cause at first I was just posting it because I'm happy with the work, the progress I put in, and I'm seeing, seeing the progress. But then I realized people were being inspired by it. So then I was like, okay, I might as well just keep going
Yeah,
and build something and inspire them the same way I was inspired. So,
and you hit it right on the head. I mean, that's beautiful. Sometimes sometimes you don't choose your calling. Sometimes your calling just chooses you, and you find it, right? And I think there's a certain timeline where, at a certain age or some point in the crosshair, where it connects, and you're able to grasp it, and then be able to full on go all in, right? I think that may be what it is for you right now, right? I think you flirted with the idea, but then something came across your path. And you're like, oh, this is what it is supposed to be doing. And then you have gratification and then affirmations about it, like i.e. somebody saying, no, you were helping me. Like somebody helped you, now you're doing the same thing. I think you're just paying it forward. So I think that may be your calling, or it is your calling. And I think that's really why you gravitate toward it. And I think that's the best reason that you can do it. It's funny you say that, because when we started the podcast, it was literally for my guy Siege. It was just like, okay, we all doing something. Siege doing something, but I know he wanted a presence online. I'm like, man, what is I'm doing like fashion. I'm doing like a lot of things outside of what I'm doing. And then I'm obviously talking to Langston, talking to CK, and they're doing gaming. They're doing a lot of good things, and we always connect. I'm like, man, I think Siege got a real good like hosting podcast voice. Like, what can we does that make sense? All right, let's talk to him about it. Then we do it. And it's like, okay, let's figure out how the structure gonna look. Then we bring in some people that we already comfortable with. And then it gets to the point where, okay, how does this work? Are we doing this right? Not really. Okay, let's just keep doing it anyways. You get, 4, 5, 6, 7, 30 episodes in, and people are waiting for you to drop. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why didn't you drop it? Now they're hitting us up like, you missed a week, right? Like, let's make sure you're back on schedule. And I think it's just like you said, it's going back to that could be our calling. I think we all just having fun with it, getting to have a conversation, a real conversation with you, people like you, people that are business minded, and like we just have, and we're learning ourselves, right? I think every conversation we have with somebody like you, like we're learning about ourselves more. We get to be better for ourselves, and this allows us the opportunity to help the world. So we created this platform, and it's been a really exciting journey, and I'm looking forward to the future of it and just the present of it. I think we're doing really well. So I again thank you so much, man, for your time and just being able to bless us with presence and to be able to share your journey. I think it's very, very important. And we want to continue to watch you and celebrate you. So as we move into the last part of the episode, we want to make sure that we get an opportunity to go over our word of the week, which this week is meticulous. So if you didn't think about it earlier, we'll give everybody a brief second to think about what that word means to them right now. And then I want to have, open the floor, Brandon, for you to describe what meticulous means to you in your life and the business. Like how meticulous are y'all with what's going on right now? Like how's that word representing you right now in this moment?
do you mind going over the definition of that word?
Yeah, pretty much just like going into like extreme detail of what y'all are doing, like for lack of better terms, like meticulous is being very detail oriented and structuring.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
want the dictionary version, actually have it already pulled up. It is showing great attention to detail, very careful and precise.
What was your question? I forgot.
Pretty much like how's that word for you right now? Like how are y'all using that word? For lack of better term, meticulous, but like how are y'all detail oriented in your life? Like are you detail oriented? Obviously, you're running businesses, so you got to be very detail oriented on how you approach your days, how you approach your nights, how you approach, everything ever, communication with your brother, communication with customers, clients. So, like, how does that affect your day to day? How does it affect you outside of business, outside of work, just your personal life? Like, how detail oriented are you right now? And is it super important to be detail oriented, or do you find better days just being chaotic and not having a plan and just seeing where it takes you? Like, what does that look like for you?
So to touch back on like earlier when I was talking about the business with my brother, like I said, he's when it comes to detail, he definitely got me into that a lot more because he's like that. Before, like I said, when I first started, I didn't notice a lot of things, and he would like let me know like that matters. It doesn't matter how small it is, because in my eyes, I'm like, I'll do something. I'm like, okay, I'm done. It's not that big a deal. But to him, it's like, no, you got to understand, like these customers, it doesn't matter. Money's coming out of their pocket. It got to be as perfect as it can. 'Cause to
Yeah,
my perspective was like, it's good. It's like, why are we worried about it? But him, he was like, not that. It's not good to me. It's like, I understand how people are like. And he's like, if somebody's paying for something, they want you to be, get it perfect. It doesn't, they want you to do the impossible for them. So it's like, he's like, it just, trust me, it matters. That's what got him to where he was. And this is why it's still going. So you got to be, re-detailed about everything. And, I took that with me, and that's also with the eating as well. If you want to notice,
yeah,
difference in your physique and everything, you got to be intentional about what you're eating. You got to, organize. Me personally, I will say this: I'm not a very super organized when it comes to, okay, I gotta have this much protein and this much carbs and all that stuff. I kind of just, I know what I'm eating and I know how much I'm eating it, and I know like the size I want to get to. So I can look at the food and be like, maybe it's because I've been working out for the time I have, so I can do it now. But I'll know exactly what I'm eating and how much I'm eating, so I don't have to, write it down and stuff like that anymore. But definitely, you got to be detailed about it if you want to see progress. But also, there are days when you're just chaotic. You just go with the flow. So I don't think it's a bad idea to just go with the flow. But being more detailed is more. I'll say it's better for you. It gets you a lot further than just not planning anything.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much touched, everything on that. Does anybody else have anything to share on that?
I mean, not really. I just want to touch on. I mean, obviously, like we've been talking about, being meticulous is basically, like I said, the little things, the little details and things. Like we were saying about the McDonald's and the him going to Marshalls and seeing like different things and how they was selling. Like he was being meticulous, he was being detail oriented, and how he wanted to see it. Like, okay, these shirts been going a little bit more. I see a lot of people grabbing them. Okay, these shirts might be something. All right, I see them grabbing this workout set over here. All right, maybe that workout set. Just looking at the little things, and like like anything, even in sports, like whenever we play basketball or anything, like you always see the little things on the court. Like as a point guard myself, like I used to always see, like if somebody was a little bit more upset because they hadn't been touching the ball lately, they've been playing good D though. So, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? You try to get them a touch next time you come down, because, you know what I'm saying? You just want to let them know, like, hey, I understand, I see you've been open. I'm saying your other teammates are seeing your, saying you see your big man ain't been touching the ball, or he ain't doing what he's supposed to do. You give him a little nudge, like, hey, come on, man, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that. Or you see a coworker, you see your brother, I see my brothers here. I tell them, hey, man, you ain't really been on your shit lately, bro. I mean, you telling me you want to do this, that, and the third, but you ain't dropped nothing. You ain't posted nothing about it. You ain't said nothing about it. I'm saying I'm just letting them know like what I'm seeing. And obviously they can do the same with me if I ain't doing what I'm supposed to do. So at the end of the day, it's just always like paying attention to those little things. And I'm always been a little things person anyway. So meticulous has always been a word that I always like to use about myself. Like that's like one of those words I use about myself, because all the little things I see, and I just like, I'm always just looking. I always been a seer, not a talker. I always see things, and I just like, okay, I see what's going on. And then when it come back around, I already know how to play it because I seen it already. I just didn't say nothing. So like, it's always those little things that you always try to check out for, and I always love that.
no, you hit it on the head. I mean, it makes sense, right? I think just to pivot off on that a little bit more, it's just like you want to start a business. Like just let's just take that for example. Like most people in our generation now want to figure out a way to do like online selling. Want to start a business. Want to be a coach or somehow, an online coach. Want to be in entertainment, whatever it may be. Like there's no obviously you're doing construction, but there's a business behind it. It's not like you're just like working under somebody. Like y'all have an actual business. So like there's things that you want to do, and I think majority of us in our generation don't understand how difficult that is, right? Like it sounds good in theory, but it's like until you start doing, it, you're like, hold on, that 9 to 5 don't sound too bad, you know. But it's like depending on who you are, a 9 to 5 does sound bad if you are meticulous. And if you want to start a business, you want to be something greater, you're not going to get there unless you're really, really detail oriented, unless you're really meticulous. There's no iPhone without Steve Jobs being super aggressive, being super meticulous, being super agile about, no, we need this volume on the setting to be like this. When the music's playing for Apple Music, saying I need to be like this because if it doesn't grow, we're not going to be able to exit and sell it. Like we need to be able to distribute this amount of product at this amount of time. Same thing for Amazon. Like he's went to the Jeff Bezos. He went to the funnel like, yo, we're gonna sell books first. People in this demographic right now read books. Let's go ahead and grab these, get some sponsors, get some licensing agreements,
They
put it on that
Kindle.
website. Come on, and Kindle. He went crazy on that. So it's like being very, very decent oriented. Now he's one of the biggest distributor uh distributors in the world, right? Obviously he's doing what
Yeah.
he's doing, he's doing great. But most people that disrupt the industry in our lifetimes are meticulous people, or smart enough to understand that they're not. And they go find the people that's meticulous and they're like, yo, this is the vision, this is the idea, this is what has to be done. But you're a better organizer than I am, and I need you to do this. I need to figure out how to continue to be a visionary. And I believe we're going to be able to get to the next level, right? And I think those are important steps to actually have a foundation set, right, to get to the next level. And I think if you can't think your way through things, there's no way you're gonna be able to lead people, right? And I think that's mostly important. So meticulous has always been good for me, and those same things. And it's the same thing we do with our show. It's like understanding what that looks like for us. So every week we're trying to get better. Every week we're trying to figure out different ways. Like, okay, this don't look right. This don't sound right. Okay, did that better. Okay, let's do this next week. Okay, let's try this until we find a formula that works for us. That's now we're putting out so much content. It's like, oh, that's Dear Radio. Like everybody knows, right? Like without us even have to change things, alter anything. So like we're really, really aggressive on what that looks like. And it's fun. It's hectic at the same time, but it's fun to be able to find what that looks like. So being meticulous is super, super important. And I hope the viewers at home start to think about that a little bit more. Start with waking up and making your bed up, right? Like that may change the mindset and thought process, right? And to be able to start with that, like just see your room clean, see that process, what that looks like, and then you just what's the next step of your life until you start finding more things you want to enjoy. So but we want to wrap it up there, man. I appreciate everybody, joining in tonight and then be able to share those thoughts with us. I appreciate your time again, Brandon. We really want to celebrate you, continue to watch you grow, you and your brother, and just be able to be a part of the system that you're building, man. So where can everybody follow you for socials, man, so we can continue to watch your growth?
On all my socials, it's at Don Damali. That's DONDAMAMALI. So that's my name on all socials. So that's it. And I'm not sure how I want to exchange social with y'all as well. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that after or how that works.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, man.
Yeah, we'll do it after.
See you,
Yeah,
it's my
yeah.
brother.
It's your boy, man, Dead Siege, man, checking in, man. I know I was a little late, man. Sorry I was late to the party, but you know what I'm saying? When you have kids, man, they touch everything. So you gotta go scavenger hunting sometime. But it's your boy Dead Siege, man. Dead Siege on everything from TikTok, Twitter, IG, I'm missing one, YouTube, even though I ain't posting nothing on there yet. Can't do Facebook, my mom on there, so leave that alone. Other than that, man, it's your boy, man, Dead Siege.
Sir, LeBron,
Yes,
came back
sir.
for all you, brother.
First and foremost, I want to shout out our other co-host who's not here tonight. He would deeply love this because my fault.
Hold on, 2 seconds. And follow the gaming page, man, TKD2 Gaming, and at Dylan Brangston Gaming as well, man. Follow them gaming pages.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well,
Sorry about that.
you did it for me, so I don't have to give him a shout out because I don't really care that much about him. But yeah, shout out TKD2 Gaming on all platforms, Twitter, never the X, blah blah blah, whatever. Instagram _TKD2 Gaming, yeah, whatever. Anyways, the more important one, LeBrankson. You can follow LeBrankson on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. LeBrankson Gaming on Instagram. We also have a voicemail number that if you guys want to call and leave us a beautiful message, that number is 859-363-5365. Again, you guys can call. Here's a very long ringtone. Leave a message, leave a question, whatever you wanted to say about your favorite menu item at McDonald's, whatever it is. We'll get to it. We'll address it on the show. But again, the number is 859-363-5365. All right, Michael, go ahead and wrap it up for us.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, you can follow us at Dear Radio Show on all social media platforms. It's Dear Radio Show. So you'll be able to follow us and then be able to stay in tune with all of our latest updates, everything we have going on for the future. We got a lot of good stuff coming soon. So make sure everybody's on there with that. Like Link said, just go ahead and do a ringtone, dial in, and just make sure that you're giving us suggestions. Man, we appreciate y'all coming in this week, learning something new with us, becoming somebody better. We'll see you same time next week. Peace.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all. Going.